What's up, bud? It's Rob. This is Apparel Success. And in this video here, what I want to talk to you about is how to use brand drivers inside of your brand. This is likely a new concept you've never heard before. And what it's going to do is give you tools that will help you unlock exactly what your brand's about, give your brand a million times better direction, and you're really going to be able to communicate your brand to potential customers so much better. So I hope you enjoy. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. If designs are something that you struggle with, I really recommend that you try them out. These 3 designs sell like fire through my website, and I got them all made through Design Crowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you, or just use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. What exactly are brand drivers, and what do they do for your brand? What brand drivers are is they're a set of adjectives or words that are used to describe your brand. So literally, quite simply, just words that are used to influence your branding, give your brand direction, give your brand a focus, and create a cohesive message. And the reason why this is so important to find these words is because until you can locate these words and find the perfect words for your brand, you really don't know what your brand is all about other than your own feelings and your own intuition towards your brand. And there's going to be no clear way of expressing what your brand's all about to your audience until you find exactly what those words are. So I want to give you a list here of adjectives and words that are used to describe my own brand and examples of brand drivers and how this will affect your branding, how it'll affect your brand and help you grow your brand moving forward. I'm going to share with you some examples right now of brand drivers that could be used for any brand. And what I want you to take note of is the emotional charge that's attached to each of these words and how every word has a different emotion that it creates. It gives you a different feeling and it creates a different impression. And also take note of the contrast between the words, how each word really has a different feeling in contrast to other words. So as examples of brand drivers, and remember these words are used to influence your branding. So you're gonna use these words internally and externally. As the business owner, you're gonna use it internally because it's gonna drive all of the decision making when it comes to the fonts that you use, the colors that you use, the way that you design your website, your layout. And externally, this is what you're gonna use to communicate to your customers inside of ads, on your Instagram account, inside of captions, on your website itself to communicate to customers, and it's just creating an impression. So listen to the word professional as a brand driver. Adventurous, sophisticated, versus the word grungy, rustic, rugged, personable. These words have different feelings attached to them, and they can all be used as adjectives and brand drivers to influence your branding. And some of the ones for my own clothing brand, literally farmer, hick, rural, proud, funny, rough, Canadian. All these words describe my brand and it gives my brand a cohesive message and a cohesive feel. So the reason why these are called brand drivers is because they literally drive the identity of your brand. They drive your brand identity. And you want to use these words once you come up with them inside of all of your content, your design, your marketing, and even your decision-making processes for yourself as the clothing brand owner. And the way that you want to come up with these words, the best way that I've found is, really sitting down. I use my phone. I don't really even have paper at my place just because I use my laptop and my phone for everything. And I just start writing down words and how I'm feeling about my brand. And I want the words that I'm coming up with to be as accurate as possible to the emotions that I'm feeling and the intuition that I have towards my brand. And another great tool that you can use is literally go to thesaurus.com and type in some words. Like if I put in rustic, and what thesaurus.com will do is it'll give you synonyms for those words. And maybe rustic was close, but once you hop over to thesaurus.com, there's like 6 other words that just even describe your brand even better that you couldn't have thought of on your own, that through using that tool would give you even a better glimpse into your brand than you could think of on your own. And applying this stuff to your brand will guide you, and it will give you brand direction, and it will take you out of this feeling of not really knowing what your brand's about fully, and this feeling of just kind of trying to sell some t-shirts, into really creating a brand that has some depth, where you're really connecting with people's identity and who they are. What you want to be focused on the most when you're brainstorming your brand drivers, when you're coming up with these for your own brand, is accuracy. You want to make sure that the words that you're using to describe your brand and that you're coming up with accurately describe your brand. And then a secondary characteristic that you want to be looking for inside of these words is that they're creating a sense of uniqueness for your brand. And when you use these words, you're basically entering into a niche. Because by choosing words like, say, grungy, you're no longer going to be, a clean-cut brand. And so you're separating yourself and you're creating an identity, you're creating a personality. And that's what's most important here. That's a really important part of creating a solid brand, is actually choosing words that have specific meanings to them, because that's what's going to give you that whole feeling like you have a full identity. So I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, please hit the like button for me. It really helps me get these videos out there. And let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.